This week on Cruisin' Collector's Edition.
Because the ride in this thing is an experience you'll never forget.
Oh, you ain't kidding. Hey, Jeff, what's that?
This is a true super sport.
So are you, Jeff. So are you. And after almost 40 years,
this is the truck from the series Sanford and Son.
Voted one of the top 25 cars from TV and movies, the 1951 Ford F1 returns to TV. This time on Cruisin' Collector's Edition, presented by Blue Line Classics.
Welcome to Cruisin' Collector's Edition.
This week Jeff's going to be showing you a few cars we've added to our collection, and I'm going to be wrapping up a few loose ends on the Sanford and Son truck, getting it all ready for its big debut for everybody to see.
Let's get started. Well, we're getting ready to hit the track with the new Shelby Cobra that we just picked up and added to our collection. This is a replica 1967 Shelby Cobra. The Shelby Cobra was produced from 1962 to 1967. These cars were produced as a two-door roadster model. These cars were a joint venture between England's AC Cobra and Carroll Shelby. These cars were sent to the US in unfinished rolling chassis and were finished in Shelby's workshop. In 1967, the Shelby Cobra was powered by Ford's side oiler 427 engine, which was said to have a top speed of 185 miles per hour. Shelby's goal with these cars were to have them be the Corvette beater. His goal became a success in 1963 when the Cobra took a first place victory at Riverside International Raceway. There, the Cobra beat out not only the Corvettes, but the Jaguars, the Porsches, the Maseratis. The side oiler 427 motor was rated at 485 bhp with a top speed of 185 miles per hour. The sales of the Cobras in the United States was not a big success. In fact, Ford considered it a financial failure. That led Ford and Carroll Shelby to discontinue importing the cars from England in 1967. AC Cobra kept producing the cars until about 1973. Our Cobra is in beautiful condition. The paint on the car is outstanding. The white race stripe is indicative of the era. It's got a few added amenities that the Cobra didn't actually come stock with in 1967, such as our Sony AM/FM CD radio with surround sound speakers in the interior, which kind of helps because the car is topless. Our car is equipped with side pipes to produce a nice throaty rumble. It also has the side vents on the windshield to keep the wind from rushing in when you're cruising down the track. These cars are made to run fast and they get hot. There's no real grille on these cars per se. It just looks like a wide open mouth on the front end of the car, sucking in all the air as you're rushing down the road. The rear view mirror on this car is centered on the dash, and the side view mirror is mounted to the driver's side fender. These cars were produced as roadsters only. There were no coupes, there were no convertibles, so you only had the opportunity to drive this car in good weather. This is the third Cobra that we've added to our collection in the last year. Even the replicas are highly sought after and a little bit more affordable than a real Cobra. This Cobra is gorgeous from front to back. The interior is flawless, the paint is gorgeous on this car, the rumble is sweet, and it just looks really cool driving down the road. If you ever have an opportunity to get in one of these, even as a passenger, take it, because the ride in this thing is an experience you'll never forget. And that's why we added it to our collection. The newest car in our collection is a 1950 Lincoln. The 1950 Lincoln was a step above the Mercury and a step below the Lincoln Cosmopolitan. This Lincoln was referred to as the Baby Lincoln. This car isn't quite set up the way it was when it left the factory. Under the hood, it has a 1993 Lincoln MK8 4.6 liter fuel injected motor. On the outside, it looks like it did in 1950. but under the hood it was built for cruising. This car went through a mild resto-mod restoration about 3 years ago. It has about 6,000 miles on the restoration since completion. One of the unique features with this Lincoln is the suicide doors. In 1950, the baby Lincolns and the Lincoln Cosmopolitans were built with the suicide doors. Suicide doors were more common in cars manufactured in the first half of the 20th century. This, of course, was before seatbelts. The term suicide door was coined due to the fact that if an accidental door opening happened, there was a greater risk of a person falling out of a vehicle compared to that of a front hinge door where the wind would be pushing against the door when the car was in motion. The car has some pretty cool features from the 50s. Of course, like the cars from the 50s, it has quite a bit of chrome. But it also has Frenched headlights. This wasn't part of the restoration. This was actually the way the car was manufactured in 1950. Kind of a cool custom look. Unique to this vehicle is the grille. It's a black resto-mod looking mesh type grille. As part of the resto-mod features, this Lincoln has aluminum billet window and door cranks. It also has aftermarket VDO gauges, an aftermarket AM/FM CD player, and the custom floor shifter, keeping the theme of the 8-ball, also seen on the door locks of the car. The paint on the car is in great shape. It's a deep maroon. This was a factory color option for these cars back in 1950. All Lincolns have always had pretty big trunks. This Lincoln is no exception. This Lincoln rides on new radial wide white wall tires, and it also has a cool custom looking 50s theme with the chrome hubcaps. Another cool look on this car is the windows. It has a split windshield and a 3-piece rear window. When we came across this car, we fell in love with its looks. It's got gorgeous paint, beautiful chrome, it has a really cool stance, the suicide doors, the radial wide whites, and the fuel-injected V8 modern motor. This was a car that we just had to add to the collection.
January 21st, 2007, the 1966 Shelby Cobra 427 Super Snake made history, selling at the Barrett-Jackson auction for $5.5 million. It was Carroll Shelby's personal car. Cruise In Collector's Edition, presented by Blue Line Classics, returns in a moment. Blue Line Classics wants to buy your classic car. We buy excellent condition classic, antique, and muscle cars and offer consignment services. We have an established customer base of eager buyers, and for consignment cars, we offer first-class marketing efforts with an impressive 100% sell-through rate. If you have a classic or muscle car you'd like to sell or take advantage of our consignment service, visit our website, BlueLineClassics.com, or give us a call. Selling your classic does not have to be a painful process. Give Blue Line Classics a call and start selling your classic today. Welcome back to Cruise In Collector's Edition, presented by Blue Line Classics.
This is a very meticulously restored 1963 Chevy Nova Super Sport. This is a true Super Sport with the original motor and transmission. In 1963, the Chevy Nova Super Sport came equipped with a 194 cubic inch inline V6, which produced 120 horsepower. In 1963, the Chevy Nova Super Sport was not originally available with a V8 option. This Nova underwent a very meticulous nut and bolt restoration. As you can see, every aspect of the car has been restored. The paint on this car is absolutely gorgeous. All the chrome and bright work is new. The glass on the car is crystal clear. The interior on this car was restored back to factory specs. It's absolutely gorgeous. It has the correct center shift console, and the seats, carpet, and headliner are like brand new. It rides on the era correct redline tires and the Super Sport hubcaps. The engine compartment on this car is highly detailed. It looked like it just rolled off the factory assembly line. The 63 Nova Super Sport is considered a hardtop. There's no center post in this car. This car has a very clean and simple padded dash and a very clean looking simple instrument panel. The dash is uncut with an aftermarket stereo. We also have the original working stereo with the car. This is a car from the early 60s. It's around that period of time that Chevy started to move away from the heavy loads of chrome. The Nova can comfortably seat about 4 people, maybe 5, but it'd be a tight fit. Being an early production model, and the fact that this restoration was done with such high quality, and that this is a true super sport with all the original equipment and the original motor and trans, it was just something that we decided we should add to the collection.
Welcome to the Collector's Showcase. This 1956 Ford Custom Line Tudor sedan is very clean. This is an older restoration and shows extremely well. Powered by the Thunderbird Y-Block V8 with 3-speed manual transmission on the column, this car drives and handles very well. The gorgeous white over coral paint shines like new. The car has newer radial tires. Chrome, glass, and bright work are all in excellent condition. Its beautiful and clean interior, including the seats, dash, door panels, headliners, and more, are in fabulous shape. There's no rips, tears, burns, or fading. It's mechanically and extremely sound, and you can drive this car anywhere. This stunning, flawless 1967 Yenko Tribute Camaro is spectacular inside and out. The beautiful black paint and black interior are sure to turn heads. Powered by a true and highly sought-after 427 Copo engine with a TH400 transmission and 12-bolt posi rear end with 390 gears and rear stabilizer bar for outstanding performance, the frame and undercarriage are rock-solid metal, original and extremely clean. Aero straight, clean and solid from top to bottom. This is truly an incredible Camaro that can be driven anywhere with confidence. Check out this 1955 Ford F100, restored to near original condition. Its factory-correct straight-six 223 motor runs very strong and it's very reliable. It also has a 3-speed transmission on the tree which runs very smooth. With new Coker tires, new gas tank, new carb, and the truck has been converted to 12-volt power for reliability. The beautiful red paint is in outstanding condition and nearly blemish-free. The bed has a solid steel floor and is in excellent condition. It has carpet over it and a custom-built tonneau cover. The spare tire is included as well. Its clean and detailed engine bay shows fabulously. Beautiful and clean interior, a true get-in-and-go truck. This 1966 Chevy Corvette Stingray is black on black. Extremely clean with only 46,000 original miles. This is a 2-owner car that is very well documented and has been very well preserved and pampered its entire life. Powered by a 1970 Corvette LS46 350 horsepower replacement engine with 380 foot-pounds of torque, the engine runs strong and performs excellently. The 4-speed manual transmission, disc brakes, and power steering make this Vet a dream to drive. Bumpers are original chrome and are in very good condition. The gorgeous interior even has the vertically mounted original AM/FM radio. Immaculate inside and out, this 1961 Buick Invicta is truly gorgeous. This car is most likely one of the cleanest and most immaculate originals you'll find. With just one repaint on a fantastic body, it's powered by a 325 horse original Buick 401 nailhead engine with smooth shifting automatic transmission, X-Type 3-link suspension, and 2-piece drive shaft. With radial tires, drum brakes front and rear, with extremely clean and solid body, frame, floorboards, and undercarriage. Its gorgeous blue paint shows beautifully. This car drives and handles very well. All the cars in our inventory need nothing but new owners. For information on these or any of our cars, give us a call or visit our website, BlueLineClassics.com. In 1963, a Super Sport package on the Nova 400 Coupe and convertible included thinned wheel covers, wider body side moldings, aluminized rear panels, 6.5 by 13 BSW tires, SS emblems, and it cost $161. Cruise In Collector's Edition, presented by Blue Line Classics, will return. Welcome back to Cruise In Collector's Edition, presented by Blue Line Classics.
This 1953 Ford Custom Line is another fine example of a car from the 50s. The center button on the horn of this car denotes the 50th anniversary for Ford. This car is mostly original with one repaint, There's been some minor customization. It's been lowered. It has add-on hubcaps and dummy spotlights are added on the front. It still carries Ford's jet hood ornament centered on the hood and quite a bit of chrome, but not as much chrome as the cars of the later years in the 50s. This car has the original V8 flathead motor. The Ford flathead was 239 cubic inches, sometimes referred to as the Flatty, and produced 100 horsepower. The interior in this car was basically untouched. It still has the original seats, the original dash, the original instrument gauges, and the original headliner. This custom line is equipped with a 3-speed manual transmission on the tree. Added options on this custom line include the rear fender skirts and a Continental kit and spare tire on the rear end. This car is painted in early Ford colors. It has a 2-tone color combination of Sheridan blue over Glacier blue. This was a popular family car in the 50s, and it's still very comfortable today. A family of 5 could ride around in here with no problem. This is a pretty cool looking 50s style kind of car. It's a very smooth runner. It's comfortable to drive. It's blue, so it fell right in line with our theme, Blue Line Classics. And it's just something we thought we should add to the collection.
The Ford Motor Company celebrated its 50th anniversary in 1953 with an attractive facelift to its automobiles, including a new grille with a bullet in the center, rectangular parking lights, and new tail lights. Also, the steering wheel got a special 50th anniversary commemorative medallion. Cruise In Collector's Edition, presented by Blue Line Classics, returns after this. Blue Line Classics wants to buy your classic car. We buy excellent condition classic, antique, and muscle cars and offer consignment services. We have an established customer base of eager buyers, and for consignment cars, we offer first-class marketing efforts with an impressive 100% sell-through rate. If you have a classic or muscle car you'd like to sell or take advantage of our consignment service, visit our website, BlueLineClassics.com, or give us a call. Selling your classic does not have to be a painful process. Give Blue Line Classics a call and start selling your classic today. Now, back to Cruise In Collector's Edition, presented by Blue Line Classics.
What we have here is the 1951 F1. This is the truck from the series Sanford and Son. Sanford and Son aired from 1972 to 1977. Growing up, this was mine and Jeff's favorite television show and still is to this day. The theme song from Sanford and Son was actually my wedding song. I've always been a fan of the show. I still watch it religiously today. When the truck came up for auction last October, we had to have it.
The truck's only had a few owners since the show ended in 1977. After the completion of the show, the truck was auctioned off at a charity auction, and a gentleman by the name of Frank Miller purchased the truck in California. He held onto the truck for about 5 years, and in that time he leased it back to NBC a few times for some Sanford and Son spin-offs. After the spin-offs, he decided to sell the truck and put it up for auction. A collector in Las Vegas purchased the truck, and they placed it in Red Fox's driveway where it could be seen when people were taking a Las Vegas bus tour. When Red Fox filed for bankruptcy in the late 80s, the truck went on a car lot in Las Vegas on a consignment and was again sold. A gentleman by the name of William Mills purchased the truck and moved to Elkhart, Indiana shortly after that. Mr. Mills, he met a gentleman in a nightclub there by the name of Donald Dimmitt. Mr. Dimmitt was a salvage dealer. He owned a junkyard in Argos, Indiana. He had to have the truck, so he talked Mr. Mills into letting him purchase the truck. Mr. Dimmitt, being a junk dealer himself, had to have the truck. So in 1988, he purchased it from Mr. Mills. And he pretty much parked it in his junkyard and let it sit for over 20 years. Mr. Dimmitt died in 2009, and in 2014, the family decided they were going to part with the truck. Tim and I bought it in October 2014, and that's when the restoration process began.
We brought the truck back to Ohio, brought it back to our shop, started looking at the truck. We couldn't decide how far we wanted to go with the truck. Originally, I wanted to keep it completely original and not touch it. The more we looked at the truck, the patina we wanted to keep, but we actually want to drive this truck. We're actually planning on taking it on a power tour this year, so we decided to completely rewire the truck. That's where it started. Next thing we did, I looked at the floors. Floors were shot. We wound up replacing all the floors. We took the bed out, replaced the oak in the bed. The suspension's been completely rebuilt front to back. We put Core 15 under the whole undercarriage just to preserve the truck. Had we not have done that, this truck would probably last another 10 or 15 years and start to disintegrate. We wound up rebuilding the original inline six that was in the truck for the show. We rebuilt the transmission, the rear end. We brought the interior back to life. We reupholstered the seats, put new vinyl in there, rebuilt all the original gauges. Mechanically, this is a new truck. We took its maiden voyage from our shop to the IX Center just the other day. That was the first time we test drove it. We fired it up a couple times in the shop, but we never drove it, so I figured what better time to take it than the first Piston Powered Show. So we drove it here without a glitch.
Running like a top! A little cold. Boom!
If you notice, the truck doesn't have any glass in it other than the windshield. All the glass was removed by NBC during production of the show. We may put glass in it down the road if we continue to drive it, but as it sits here today, it's pretty much displayed the same way it was when it was on television in the 70s.
Mechanically, the engine, we rebuilt it to stock specs. The only difference, I figure we're going to be on the freeway and hot rodding around town a little bit, so we put a little bit bigger intake, a little bit bigger exhaust manifolds on it. We actually got it's a 4-barrel carburetor, but it looks like a 2-barrel carburetor to put in place, and a nice little Y-pipe exhaust just to give it a little pep on the road. We got all new tires on it. They say the suspension's all done, the brakes all done. It's a new truck sitting on a old patinaed body.
We've actually owned a lot of cars over the years, but this is by far the automobile that Tim and I are probably most proud of.
I think this is going to stay with us until the day I die. I know they're going to bury me in it, so I don't know where you're going to keep it.
I'll be driving them to the cemetery with the casket in the back of the truck.
Who says I'm going first?
You're going first. Thanks for watching Cruisin' Collector's Edition. This wraps up our final episode for the season.
Keep an eye out for Cruisin' starting in May. They're going to have the outdoor edition starting.
If you'd like to keep an eye on our collection, feel free to log into our website at bluelineclassics.com.
And for this summer, keep an eye on the Sanford and Son truck. We're going to be running all over town, hitting all the car shows and doing some touring in this thing.
We'll see you this spring.
And for the last time,
be on the lookout for the Sanford and Son truck or any of the cars from Blue Line Classics collection at car shows and cruise-ins near you.